Hey y'all, this is Will, otherwise Del Rey, and we're coming back to Once Human again today for a second video on a farming run. This is going to net you 14 weapon and gear crates within 15 minutes, and it could be closer to 10 minutes if you tighten up the loop, I believe. So with that being said, to get to this location is going to be from Greywater Camp if you've never been there, and you can start doing this at tier 3 gear if you are confident about your ability to dip, dive, and dodge out of enemy attacks. You're going to go from Greywater, go up the road, into the Red Sands area, and into Blackfell. There's 3 main components of this. From the north exit of Blackfell, you're going to be going through the Blackfell Fallen Zone. You can see these little icons here, and you just go through these, and then you take your vehicle, drive right on through by the river to the Blackfell oil fields. You'll get another 4 chests that you can zigzag through, and then from there you drive from there all the way over to Evergreen, and you get another 3 chests. Then you're done. So if you time this loop up very well, you're going to be killing it. And one of the things about this loop that makes it so nice is you get so many mods for your weapons and armor that are high level. You can break them down to calibrate your mods further that you actually need as you find good ones. And you can most definitely find good ones in this farm. However, when we get to harder modes, you're going to be able to find better starting points so you can calibrate and get more out of your calibrations. With that being said, let's start in at Blackfell. And we're already here at the teleporter, ready to go. We're going to be going through the northern gate, and you're going to be running. A lot of running. Maybe if you have a motorcycle, you can get to some walls that you can't pass with the motorcycle a little bit quicker than I am. But the one thing that I find that will help us the most getting this done is a weapon calibration modified to have movement speed on your melee weapon. And yes, you can modify your weapons in-game now through their calibration settings. This is the function that you get at calibration +4, 7 at 10 of your weapons. So I found one for a melee weapon. It was only purple, but it increased my movement speed by 10% while holding the melee weapon. And that can be put on any melee weapon. So it's a really cool feature. You can put it on your guns to make a build that better suits your play style or type of damage that you're producing damage from. Also, this run gets you a whole ton of junk items and energy links and items too. Like, you're going to be dropping weapons and armor that then you can disassemble for more parts, or potentially for these calibration settings that you can reconfigure. In this hospital, you can get some of those medical bags. I wouldn't pass them up because you don't get that many anymore. You used to be able to reset silos to kind of have infinite antibiotics to make your activators, but that is no longer the case. You have to be a little bit more careful about using them if you do make a lot. So there are some medical bags. They only spawn in once a day, I believe, maybe twice a day. And this chest run, just to let you know, is a every 4 hours or so at maximum. I've heard reports that I did it 3 hours later, or it took me like 6 hours. And I'm not really sure what the rhyme and reason is, but I usually say every 4 hours you're pretty safe. Most likely you'll see and be like, oh, it's been 5-6 hours anyways. So you get a little bit of lag time in there. We're already at our 3rd chest, and we're going to our 4th. With these chest runs, there are a few potential deviant elites that you can kill to get a deviation from. In this case, the weather forecaster that spawns above this garage may drop an artisan's touch. I know the one in the last town of this run, Evergreen, absolutely drops an artisan's touch. So that's a potential too. I can hear it up there. You can hear it spawn or be up there being angry at you before you even have to check to see if it's alive. So it doesn't really take up much time if you know it's up there. That's also where the mystic chest drops for this town. In this big red building, there's a ton of office equipment that can all drop junk, formulas, not really blueprints, it's building formulas for your base, but also building components like lights and paintings of different sorts. Just like there, you can see I got an Impressionism painting. You can get a wainscoting. You can get a lot of stuff from these office tables, and it's worth exploring and picking them up. It does add a little bit of time, and maybe at a certain point you're going to be like, I think I got everything. I don't need to add this to my run anymore, and you can save even more time. Just wanted to point that out. Finally, we're at this chest, and we only have 2 more chests to go before we're done with the first town. Again, you get a lot of legendary mods and a purple mod every single time, if not maybe 2 on occasion. It's not a guaranteed thing, but I have seen what I believe 2 mods at a time. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. But see, look, we got a formula for a building piece right there. You get a lot of stuff from these. Now, this run isn't the most interesting or fun, but you can kill time with it and get a lot of good items. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record with that, but I'm just having to drive it home that if you're not in hard modes yet, this is probably your best source of energy links, potentially, unless you can do legendary events all the time. You have to develop your events from standard to heroic to legendary. That's probably the best energy link farm. Yet this is the second best if you're having trouble getting enough people to move events to legendary, or something else is happening where people aren't playing along for what the event wants you to do. And that pretty much sums up this run. You're going to be able to see me do the whole thing. As I said, this is more of an informational video for just getting the most loot as possible and buffing your characters as quickly as possible, getting ready for the harder difficulties. And from what I understand, you can almost get any mod that's legendary from these at a very small, rare chance. And I think that'll do it. I think that's most of my voiceover for what's going on here. You can find a better way to do this, I'm sure. You can shorten it by minutes, I'm almost positive, and you can get a lot of stuff going. I'm gonna leave it there and let the rest of the video play without a voiceover. You can watch and study what I'm doing. And as an outro, I just like to say, you guys have been blowing up my videos. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I don't think I would have probably ever grown this quickly with videos, so I'm apparently doing something right, and you've been enjoying what I've been putting out there. So hopefully I continue to make videos that help you guys out. Feel free to comment on what you'd like to see in the future. These last couple of videos have been requests for the most part on how to do things and get better quicker, so you don't feel like you're lagging behind people that might be able to play longer. I am also building a community Discord. You can find that in the link in my description, as well as you can ask me questions when I'm live on Twitch, which I'm going to be trying to be a little bit more frequent and be on there a little bit more. I usually just go on there when I have some spare time, but I'll do my best to be on there a little bit more. So if you need questions answered, it might be a little bit more quick. I know I've been trying to get to all your comments. I really have, but there's a lot of them, and I'm still learning all the little menus as a YouTube creator. And for example, I just recently figured out I can break off my comments into seeing who replied to a comment that I already sent after replying to your first comment, and I felt bad because I saw all these things I needed to reply to, and I was like, oh, okay, another thing I got to do. My bad. Outside of that, and just kind of blabbing about how crazy it's been the last few days with the videos and how much I appreciate it. You guys mean the world. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you later.